Yeah, it's a full-time job with no benefits. Too many ego, too many fits. Count money with a side of stress.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy, still Khalil, back with another video. Hey, bro, so look, y'all don't, I haven't really told y'all why I was gone for so long. Like, a lot of people in my family died. I was depressed. I was going through a lot of shit. Had to get my money back up. Had to get my life back together. My car got totaled. Shit, like, pretty much anything that could happen to people. Like, if y'all seen the movie Straw, I was pretty much going through that same shit, but I didn't rob nobody. I didn't go into no bank with a gun. And I didn't, like, you know what I'm saying, lose my kids and shit like that. But I was going through it the same, like, so, you know, sort of. I ain't gonna say I was going through all this. That shit, that movie was crazy. If y'all ain't seen Straw, go check it out. It's by Tyler Perry. Y'all know he the king of trauma, so you in for a treat. Anyway, let's get to this. It's called Young Thug's Fans Are Turning on Him. If you are not yet a colleague, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe. That's what I call my twins and the friends that's locked in, baby, to get here, man. I don't already talk too much. Let's get to the video, man. I don't know how to say his name, so I ain't gonna try.
Able to play basketball ever since Thug got out of jail, showing a picture that says, "When you find out your goat is." Damn, Thug done beat a Rico and came out lame as hell. Young Thug's run since getting out, showing DJ Khalil barely being able to play basketball. Ever since Thug got out of jail, showing a picture that says, "When you find out your goat is washed." After Young Thug came home after the YSL Rico, fans expected him to make a grand return, a first day out single, an album, a tour, and even reunite everyone's favorite artists again. But it has been far from that. He dropped a single which fans laughed at for being incredibly boring, repeatedly calling Gunna a rat, even though Thug also took a plea deal, signing upcoming Atlanta artist 9 Victims who has disturbing allegations against him, and most recently, even labeling Kid Cudi as a rat for.
See, that's type of shit I be talking about with the whole allegations against dude. That's why I don't align myself with niggas. I don't be knowing what they got going on behind the scenes, what they like to do on their downtime and shit. You could be the best artist ever. You sound good, you sing good, you produce good. You know what I mean? But what you doing out here with the 16-year-olds? What's that all about, bro? Brother, you know what I mean? What's that?
Testifying against Diddy. It's been a complete mess for Thug ever since he got out, and with him planning to drop his album next month, it's not looking too great for him. So let's bring it all the way back to the May of 2022, pretty much 3 years ago from now. Young Thug, Gunna, and 28 other YSL associates were charged in a 56-count Georgia RICO. Now, of course, everyone was devastated. Thug is seen as an Atlanta legend, not only putting out hits and albums people loved, but also being seen as an inspiration to multiple generations of artists, whether it be the likes of Uzi, Carti, and Lil Baby, claiming they all look up to Thug, or even this newest generation, with the likes of Yeep, Ken Carson, and Sofago. And the thing with Thug's career at that point in time was, even though he was already deep into the game, numbers-wise, he was just entering his peak. In 2019, he achieved his first #1 album with So Much Fun, selling 131,000 units in its first week, followed up by Slime Language 2 and Punk in the following years, which also landed at the #1 position in the Billboard 200 albums chart, which completely outperformed anything he put out in the past. Before So Much Fun, Thug had never cracked the top spot or 6-figure openings. So, as Thug was incarcerated, he was scorching hot, with fans expecting this RICO to make even more buzz around his name, allowing him to come home greater and bigger than ever. If he gets out and drop an album, I can honestly see him selling 200k easy. Man, the first day out track alone would break the internet. I mean, we've seen it before. When a rapper gets locked up and then eventually freed, it creates this huge anticipation as fans haven't heard anything from them in such a long time. And not only did the actual arrest of Thug and Gunna have mainstream attention, but also all the events surrounding the trial. Truly humble under God, Thug's music being played in the courtroom, Gunna supposedly snitching, Lil Woody's theatrics on the stand, it was like some sort of TV show. And I mean his labels even dropping his music throughout his time away, singles with the likes of Yeet, Calvin Harris, and Mariah the Scientist, even dropping an entire Metro Boomin curated album, Business Business. However, none of these had that real hype or feeling, as it wasn't actually Thug dropping the music, it was people behind the scenes. And now let's move on to young Thug's release from jail, because this is where the real controversy starts. So Thug would end up getting 15 years of probation, which many saw as a success. He is able to go straight home after facing life in prison. However, his parole had some terms that may affect how he would go about his career. No Metro Atlanta for 10 years, no contact with anyone he knows to be in a criminal street gang or with any co-defendant, except...
That's the part of the probation that I hated, man. Because that's why I had to stop rapping. People don't know, like, I just went away from the scene. Nigga, I wasn't scared of nobody. But I kind of was afraid of the system. I had just had 2 daughters, and, you know, I'm trying to be here to take care of them. And I don't want to be locked up and shit for, like, hanging out with the wrong motherfucker, because this nigga is proclaiming how much of a criminal he is on every song. And now, like, I can't say I don't know that you do this. If you was just chill about it, I'd be like, cool, I didn't know. But you rap about doing this shit on every song. So now I gotta, like, not be around you. So now, like, this nigga, he don't even fuck with the hood no more. It's not like I don't fuck with the hood. I don't fuck with niggas that keep telling the police all the things to lock them up. You know what I mean? Just, you know, I like a little common sense in my hood. You know what I'm saying?
His brother and Gunna for contractual music business, cannot promote a gang on social media, no use of gang hand signs, lingo or symbolism, 0 guns within arm's reach of him, random drug screens. So that's just some of them. Ones that I think would impact his career the most, because we all know a large portion of Thug's image is guns, drugs, and street activity. So with Thug literally being banned from associating himself with that, everyone thought he was going to be sent straight back to jail for violating his parole, with fans suggesting he's gonna have to do a career makeover. He better start making gospel music. But most people weren't really concerned about that yet. They were just happy that the legend was home. However, his return didn't go as fans expected, as days passed after his release on the 31st of October in 2024, and fans got nothing. Some were arguing to relax, as he has just spent 2 years in a cell by himself. He probably just wants to spend some time with his family and enjoy his freedom. But then came something that severely concerned fans, as on the 3rd of November, Thug would tweet, "Let's drop one of these rats, Peter," which is obviously quite stupid, as this is the kind of vague, aggressive language that could easily be interpreted as a violation of his probation terms. Here he is basically saying he wants to put a snitch to sleep, presumably targeting this at Gunna. Now, whilst Thug thought he was looking cool tweeting out threats like this, well, fans began literally clowning him for putting out stuff like this, when he could be called back to carry out a 15-year sentence for violating his parole terms. This fella doesn't like being free. Bro ain't making it that 15 years with his energy. And he would only continue to make it worse for himself, as just a week later he would tweet, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet, I don't know you, my guy," which is of course directed at his YSL signee, who he is no longer on good terms with, as he allegedly snitched on Thug and his label after taking an altered plea deal in which he admitted YSL is a gang and needs to end. Now, fans argue whether he snitched or he didn't, but it's clear Thug and his people don't mess with him anymore. But that's not even the problem here. It's the fact he continues to put out tweets which don't look too great in court. He would end up saying he was hacked as more tweets were sent out, with one of them even trolling the state, saying he's in Metro Atlanta. But that may have just been a terrible excuse he came up with. But apart from playing with his freedom and even having girlfriend issues, Thug was not releasing any music. Well, that was until the 3rd of January in 2025, as Thug would feature on Lil Baby's album Wham! On the song Dumb Dumb and Dumber alongside Future, which at first had insane hype, as of course it was the first official Thug verse since his arrest all the way back in 2022. And I mean, the song was hard. However, people also felt the song was boring and generic. Kinda mid, feel like I'm being gaslit by all the hype. I feel like this is just a typical song like Thug and Future do well, but it just feels run of the mill. And I mean, I think we can understand what people are saying. Like, sure, it's hard, but also pretty similar to what we've gotten before, which, you know, is not a bad thing, but it was supposed to be this big moment, Thug. But
yeah, I guess how people feel like he should have came harder with the motherfucking, like, rollout. He just got out of jail. You had all this momentum to come back hard as a motherfucker, and It seemed like something that somebody would have just put out if you were just like a regular nigga. This don't seem like something you put out knowing this is your chance to get back into the industry type shit. Like, I don't know. It feel like it feel like he thought he was thug and like it didn't matter and like he didn't take it serious. That's what I feel like from it. It kind of feel like that to me personally.
Verse since his arrest, but it just didn't end up having that feel it was supposed to. Well, it would be after this that Thug would begin rolling out his next album, Oi Scutty. Metro putting out tweets stating he's working on the next album, Thug announcing his first show since his release, plastering Oi Scutty on social media, with Future also showing support, and with him also featuring on Playboi Carti's music album, even though it was originally a 2021 verse from a song Thug recorded with Gunna, it still gave Thug that hype he needed, and it seemed like he was properly rebuilding his hype and gearing up to drop his first official album since his arrest in 2022. However, he would actually end up making things worse for himself, as on Twitter, Young Thug would call out Marissa Viverito, an investigator with the Atlanta Police Department, calling her the biggest liar in the DA office, whilst attaching a picture of her, which backfired immediately, as District Attorney Fannie Willis filed a motion claiming Thug has engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors, compromises ongoing legal proceedings, and warrants immediate revocation of probation. As after he put out the tweet, people online started leaking her address, personal information, and even made threats against her. So basically,
I feel like that's for fans though. Like he did like the worst part, which is putting it out there at first. But fans be taking shit too far, bro. That's what I be saying about shit. Fans, I don't think fans know how to be cool, cause fans don't know how to chill at all. They just be like, yeah, we gonna rap. But y'all be making shit worse sometimes. And I don't even be understand it. Like, we love y'all. We love all the fans. I'm saying we, like I've got a whole bunch of fans and shit. I got a couple of them, man, baby. They be screaming my name when I go out. They be like, in front of thousands of fans. If you didn't catch that joke, you're too young for me to. Don't DM me, nigga, trying to get me fucked up on some R. Kelly. Shut up. Stop talking. Let me just keep watching the video.
they want Thug back in jail due to this tweet. Now, of course, Thug is not responsible for the action of other people, so the judge would deny the request as his own tweet wasn't anything bad. However, it was definitely on the riskier side, with the judge even suggesting Thug to be careful with what he says about certain topics. While the court does not find that the cited social media post rises to the level of a violation, it may be prudent for Williams to exercise restraint regarding certain topics, with Thug himself ending off the situation by saying in a tweet he's a good person. I don't make threats to people, I'm a good person. I would never condone any threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. Now look, I just don't know why he's playing with freedom like this. Just a couple months ago, he was fighting a case that could have got him life in prison, got out on time served with probation, and now he's risking his freedom again. I just don't understand it. With fans, of course, having the same opinion about this, just like they had with his previous tweets. Stop doing this, or you'll go back to prison or jail. But not only were fans annoyed at Thug for not dropping music and risking his freedom, but for his newest YSL label signee. The YSL label has been around since around 2016. However, hasn't had many successful artists apart from Gunna. He had Lil Keed, but unfortunately passed away, and even someone like Young KO had potential but just didn't drop for a very long time. So now without Gunna or Lil Keed, Thug needed some new proteges, which led to him signing 1300 Sane and then the very controversial 9 Vicious, who some people call 9 Victims. Born in 2002, the Atlanta native faced allegations of contacting minors. I'm prob waiting till you're 18 to do that. Don't ever post again looking that good. I love you. Come over. Oh, your age? Yes, I forgot, but I'll still talk to you and be your friend. These are the messages 9 Vicious sent to a 16-year-old.
First of all, if you don't know that's bad, and you like, what's wrong with that? All he did was message her talk about shit pretty. Let me let you know something, bro. If you are over the age of 18, you should not be engaging in kind of any conversation with anybody under the age of 18. That's like period. Like you should not have a friendship with nobody under 18. You shouldn't be trying to tell them how pretty they are. They're not beautiful. They don't have nothing that you need to talk about. Don't give them a compliment for shit. If you know them personally, that's a different story. If that's your niece, you know what I mean? If that's somebody you know, cousin or some shit, that's still slippery slope I would avoid. But you have a leeway to do such because you are known in like a family type of vibe. Like I said, still slippery slope because some families that we ain't gonna talk about that in this video. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. If you want. I mean, that's if you care about your life. I can't speak to niggas who don't give a fuck about their life and their careers and all that shit. If you don't care, if you want to ruin your career, this is the best way. This is how you do it. I promise you. Talk to some underage people. Y'all niggas ain't going. I don't know how old this nigga is, so I can't really say he's doing the most because he might be like 20 and he just, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand that either. He might have known her when he was a freshman and she was like, or he was a senior and she was a freshman. You shouldn't do that because then once you get older, then you know that there's going to be a 3-year age gap. Understand what's going on there. You gotta be smart, think ahead of the curve. I'm just letting y'all know something. You know what I'm saying? I'll get back to this video, man. I can't talk too much.
Whilst he was 19. Now, even though a 3-year age gap isn't the same as a 30-year-old man trying to meet a literal kid he met through Roblox, it's still not morally right, especially with him even admitting he will wait till she's 18. And also, this is America, so it is illegal for people of those ages to, and it continued to get worse for him. Well, he made it worse himself, as his response to these allegations, bruh, and a bunch of sub emojis. Anyways, show finna be crazy. But that's not it, as later in a song from his project, Tumblr Music, he would say, I know I effed up, I admit it, I was horny, which is a terrible response to allegations that could be career-ending. And with Thug then publicly co-signing him in a tweet where he wrote his lyrics, fans would be pretty disappointed. Worst thing you've ever done. So we just letting the group shit go, Thug? Yeah, you gotta go back to jail, man. Now, some people may use the excuse that Thug didn't know, but I'm pretty sure he definitely does, as he retweets and responds to fans often, so he definitely reads his replies. So yeah, of course, this is not a great look for Thug. It obviously won't really change people's opinion of him, but definitely still quite odd. But this is also rap, where you can pretty much get away with anything as long as people like your music. Because Nine Vicious is still having a great career, considering how long he's been out for. I mean, I don't think he even has like 300,000 monthly listeners, and he's already signed to Young Thug. Anyways, after all that drama, 6 months since his release from jail, Thug would drop his first single out, Money on Money, featuring Future, where fans were hoping for a fire single to set off the album rollout. But fans were sort of disappointed. It's not that the song was bad, but underwhelming. I love Thug, but am I the only one that thinks it's underwhelming? I don't know, let's wait till the album.
Yeah, I fuck with the Money on Money song. When I heard it, I was hoping for something more too. Like, I was just like, it's not a bad song, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's not trash, none of that shit. It's just something that like can go on the album type shit. Like, I don't see this being that shouldn't have been the single. I think that's what people are trying to show. Like, that shouldn't have been the single that everybody go with and just like, oh, this the one, that's the big one. If that's the big one, we don't want to hear the rest, baby. I'm sorry. Keep it. That's what people are saying. That's how people feel. I don't know, man. I'm trying to learn how to put out my best songs too, so I can't really speak too much on that. I'm still learning myself. You know what I mean?
These geezers need to try something new. Holy F, what a snooze. When is this sound gonna die, for the love of God? And not only did people think the song was boring, but fans were annoyed Thug was once again sending shots at Gunna on this track. These F fellas are telling for nothing, and I gotta be the one calling them friends. With Thug's influence, you would expect fans to be siding with him. However, if you check the replies, everyone's actually defending Gunna. He didn't tell. Chill on Gunna, not gonna lie, you'll both be the system, just squash it now. Gunna took a plea deal, Buddy over here called him a rat. Just for him also to take a plea deal. Thug must have wanted to be the first fella to get that plea bargain. And I feel like the big reason of why fans are siding with Gunna is because since he was released, he's been on fire. He had a FU Mean, which peaked at a number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Nah, for racks. Gunna came out hitting the gown hard. Didn't think that, y'all. That was very disrespectful. Please don't cancel. Oh my god. No. It's live, so fuck it. We practicing on the live stream. That would have been all plastered around the internet. So I can't stop it. I'm not gonna edit it out. Hey. It is what it is. But yeah, he hit the ground going hard, bro. Like, for real. This nigga. It was hard for you to even be upset, even if you thought he was a rat. You're like, this, but shit hard, though. It go hard, good. It sound good. I mean, what do we care about? The music, or we care about niggas being super solid and trash? That's when niggas started flipping on how they started thinking about shit. Because, and I want to talk about that anyway. Because why is it that just because you didn't tell nobody, just because you got some money, just because you did this, mean that you supposed to be a rapper, you supposed to make music and do, you can't rap though. Just because you keeping it real don't mean that this is good music. I think we should have been saying this for a long time. Just because you real, that's what I was telling this Christian artist one time. Like, just because you rap about God don't mean I was supposed to love your music. It still got to be good. Like, it don't matter what the subject matter is if it's not good. And I think that's the bias, because even when it's bad, just because you got a certain subject matter, it'll go. But it should be the opposite. It should be, if the music is good, it shouldn't matter what the subject matter is. It shouldn't be, if the subject matter is good, it don't matter how good the music is. That's not how life should be. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just saying, we had it wrong all along, baby.
A huge hit, then many hit songs from his second album after his release, One of One, such as One of One, On One Tonight, and Hakuna Matata. Now, even though some people are now clowning Gunna for putting out Get Ready With Me music, Instagram Reels music, it's working, whereas Thug's run has been a bit shaky. Anyways, back to Thug, it seemed like fans were getting tired, and unfortunately, he would continue with his stupid antics. On the 22nd of May, artist Kid Cudi would be subpoenaed to testify against Diddy about an alleged Molotov cocktail attack he carried out on his Porsche. Well, this is where Thug would step in and tweet, "Damn, Cudi a rap," which honestly felt like a breaking point for people on social media, because Thug got absolutely cooked for this. Young Thug almost 40 and still got the mindset of a child. Damn, Thug done beat a Rico and came out lame as hell. I'm telling your son, we gotta start acknowledging the fact some fellas just on earth to hold black people back. I mean, there's a lot to break down about this situation. Firstly, well, Cudi is...
No, we do gotta talk about that though. I gotta pause on that, because I feel like that is the truth. A lot of black people, like, we put them in authority on shit, and we be like, that's a nigga that represent us, and he the best of where we come from and all this shit. And that nigga just be in position to set us back and make us feel bad about ourselves and start, like, not being seen in the light that we have made for ourselves. I don't think we should keep letting that slide. I mean, I think we should start calling that shit out a lot more, and I'm glad we are. I'm glad we are doing this now with Young Thug. No matter how much I like Thug, gotta be done, cuz. Gotta be done.
A street dude and has never acted like one. And second of all, he was subpoenaed, meaning he was called up to court and legally had to turn up to testify. Otherwise, they would have thrown him in jail. So with everything that we have covered so far, I think we can easily say most people are disappointed with Young Thug since his release from jail. You know, it was such a big moment. The legendary rapper facing life imprisonment, got off on probation, and is ready to make the craziest return to the rap game, just for him to give a feature to Lil Baby, a 2021 verse on a Cartier album, drop a generic song with Future, and put out stupid tweets. It's just disappointing. Personally, I thought the first day Thug got released, he was going to drop some crazy song which was going to go viral. Now, I understand why he didn't. He's just been locked away for 2 years. He probably just wants to rest and see his family. And of course, with his parole terms, he has to be careful with what he says. So I get that. But it's been like 6 months now, and to be fair, he's about to drop his album, Oi Scutty, which was actually supposed to drop in May but got pushed back, with some fans even believing it got pushed back because no one really cared about it.
UI Scooty, his return album, his first album since coming home from jail, you know, that album that everyone was hyping up before it even existed, was supposed to come out this Friday. I bet some of you watching this video didn't know that. Nobody was talking about it. It wasn't a big deal. Everyone was acting like they didn't care. It just wasn't talked about because it felt like people didn't care. Now, Young Thug has pushed the album back to June, and I think that that is actually part of the reason as to why it's been pushed back.
And even though his album's not even released yet, it was already under attack after it was confirmed that 21 Savage was featuring on the project, which just had many fans thinking, oh great, another generic trap album with features from the same artists, Lil Baby, Future, and 21 Savage. Which again isn't a terrible thing, but you know, with Thug, people were hoping for something experimental and out of the norm. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Thug's album? Personally, I'll check it out. I'm not like a crazy Young Thug fan.
I feel like this was happening. So like, he got out of jail. He was like, we used to this system that we got. All I gotta do is call Metro. All I gotta do is call these niggas. All I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? And we locked in. And we gonna get it. And everybody gonna love it because I'm Thug. But I don't think he underestimated. I think he did underestimate my bad. I think he underestimated how much the game has changed and how much people have started demanding fresh music, man, new perspectives on life. Thank people like me for that, because we was out here, championing for that. You know what I'm saying? We could have always been doing what y'all doing now. We could have always been rapping about traps and straps and, packs and shit. I was actually in the hood, more than a lot of y'all niggas. I'm just saying. But we chose not to do that. We chose to take a stance and pioneer the different, paths, if you will. So shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to us. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to me. More specifically, I'm one of the greatest that ever done did it. And the mic just cut off. And this is probably better audio anywhere. So I'm just going to start using the regular mic. I'm tired of this shit, man. I love y'all, man. Once again, my name is still Khalil. If you were not already a Khalillionaire, that's what I call my friends and the twins is locked in. So hit the like, share, and subscribe. And man, you know what to do. You know what it is. I love y'all. Peace.